Reason number 1. All Star Wars movies so far have contained the opening crawl at the beginning. Keep in mind the anthology movies are subgenre films, so they don't count. I'm looking at you, Rogue One. Reason number 2. All Star Wars film scores are conducted by the one and only John Williams. Reason number 3. All Star Wars movies have a female lead that slips and tries to play it off. If you look at Padme's left foot, she almost trips in this scene and it would have been embarrassing. Princess Leia trips in this scene, but Han catches her. And if she trips and has to hold on to something when she sensed Han died. And Padme was tripping already when she went to go talk to Anakin after she found out he was killing younglings. And if she literally trips and almost lands on her baby twins when Anakin puts her in the Jedi chokehold. Reason number 4. The bad guys in Star Wars movies always have the good guys trapped right where they want them with no place to go. But for some reason, the good guys always find a place to go and get free and escape. During their journey, the good guys are never alone because the main characters in all Star Wars movies have a droid as a sidekick. Anakin and Luke have R2-D2 and Rey has BB-8. Reason number 6. In all Star Wars movies, the Jedi never learn their lesson and recruit a new Jedi, even though he or she is way too old for training. Luke is way too old to get training and the dark side runs in his blood, but they train him anyway.
He is too old.
Luke takes on Rey as a student at the end of Force Awakens and she's just as old as Luke was. Anakin was the chosen one and was supposed to bring balance to the Force, not leave it in darkness, but he leaves the Force in darkness after Qui-Gon Jinn agrees to teach him.
He's too old.
Then in episode 3, he becomes the youngest Jedi ever to have a seat on the council.
To be on the council at your age, it's never happened before.
Reason number 7. All Star Wars movies hate father figures and kill them off way too early. Qui-Gon is a father figure to Obi-Wan and would have probably been a better mentor to Anakin if he didn't die hard in Phantom Menace. All of Luke's father figures die hard too. And after Han Solo volunteers to be Rey's father figure, he dies hard with a vengeance in The Force Awakens. And the biological Star Wars fathers are depicted as deadbeat dads who don't care about their children. Luke's dad wasn't there for his birth, and when they finally got face to face, he cut his hand off. Han Solo's last name says it all because he sure left Ben Solo after he signed the birth certificate. And Anakin's daddy made him just another statistic because he never knew his father.
Who was his father?
There was no father.
Reason number 9. In all Star Wars movies, whoever takes a kid for adoption is going to die. Qui-Gon took Anakin and died right after. Then the step-aunt and uncle who adopted Luke on episode 3 die in the next movie. After they die, Obi-Wan takes custody of Luke and ends up force ghosting for the rest of the trilogy. And as soon as Han tries to adopt Rey, Kylo Ren starts hating and invites his dad over for a funeral. Reason number 10. All Star Wars movies have a diverse cast, but they still always end up casting the black people in the worst stereotypical roles. Finn's been a slave since birth, so it's like they're saying all black people are slaves. Anakin was a white guy when he was good, but as soon as he goes to the dark side, they cast a black guy as Darth Vader. So it's like they're saying dark people go to the dark side. Jar Jar Binks was also played by a black actor, and a lot of people hate his character because of the numerous examples of racial stereotypes. Reason number 11. In all Star Wars movies, the females are strong female leads, but they're just super gullible and trust the wrong people. Chancellor Palpatine is Darth Sidious, but gets Padme to trust him. Anakin is Darth Vader, but gets Padme to trust him. Finn lies and says he's part of the Resistance and gets Rey to trust him. And Princess Leia says it out of her own mouth that she doesn't trust Lando.
I don't trust Lando.
But after Billy D starts flirting, she's like whatever, and it backfires. Then she loses trust in him after that, but she trusts him again after C-3PO tells her to.
What are you doing? Trust him, trust him.
Reason number 12. There's a choke scene in every Star Wars movie. There's one here, 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 and here. Reason number 13. All Star Wars movies inspired the MCU movies, which is why the strongest person in the MCU is seated most of the time, just like the strongest villains in the Star Wars movies. Reason number 14. The villains in Star Wars movies are always the apprentice of a stronger villain pulling all the strings. Darth Maul and Vader are puppets to Darth Sidious, and Supreme Leader Snoke is the brains to Kylo Ren's operation. I don't even understand how some people choose the dark side versus the light. I'm not judging, but I am though. The puppet masters are just too shady if you ask me. The mentors always set up their apprentice for an epic L in all Star Wars movies. Darth Sidious sets up Darth Maul for a humongous L when he tricked him into thinking he could survive a double team from Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan. Then he sets up Dooku for the L when he tells Anakin to kill him and makes Anakin take his place. Then Anakin catches a bunch of L's when Darth Sidious tries to convince him to kill his only son. And in The Force Awakens, Supreme Leader Snoke sends Kylo Ren to get beat up by a girl without teaching him enough Force techniques to defend himself. Reason number 16. The good guys hate the fact that Sith hide in the shadows, but that's hypocritical because the good guys have just as much secrets as the dark side users do. Finn lies about his identity in this movie when he says he's part of the Resistance. Padme lies about her identity in this movie when she hires a stunt double. Yoda lies to Luke when he acts like he's not Yoda. And the Chancellor trusts Anakin, who's a good guy at this time. And the Jedi Council wants Anakin to act like a friend but become a spy.
They want me to spy on the Chancellor. That's treason.
Reason number 17. The bad guys usually have the strongest weapons, but it's never a landslide because the Force is always balanced and the good guys always have the best fighter pilot on their team. Anakin was the best fighter pilot in the prequels, but as soon as he went to the dark side, Luke became the best fighter pilot in the galaxy. And now that title belongs to Poe. Reason number 18. All Star Wars movies have at least one character with a missing limb. Darth Maul divides himself by two, Luke's missing a hand, and his father's missing pretty much everything. Reason number 19. In all Star Wars movies, the story's always centered around someone in the Skywalker family. We have the rise of Anakin Skywalker, the fall of Anakin Skywalker, the rise of Luke Skywalker, and the new trilogy could either focus on the redemption of Leia Skywalker's son, or the rise or fall of Rey, but we're not sure who her parents are yet. Speaking of Skywalkers, Skywalkers usually have a vision or dream in every Star Wars movie. Anakin dreamt he was a Jedi, and it happened.
I had a dream I was a Jedi.
Anakin dreamt Padme died, and it happened. Luke had a vision that he would be the one to defeat the dark side, but a piece of him would have to die with it, and it happened. And Rey, who may or may not be a Skywalker, had a vision she would face Kylo Ren in the snowy forest, and she did. Reason number 21. All Star Wars movies have a character with a hand-me-down lightsaber. Obi-Wan loses his lightsaber and uses his master's lightsaber to defeat Darth Maul. After Anakin doesn't stick the landing on episode 3, Obi-Wan takes the lightsaber and gives it to Luke in the next movie. Luke loses his lightsaber on episode 5 and it's passed down to Rey in The Force Awakens. Reason number 22. All Star Wars movies kill a Force user who comes back in a later movie to help train a Force-sensitive pupil. Qui-Gon died, but he Force goes and teaches Obi-Wan how to do it between episode 3 and 4.
An old friend has learned the path to immortality.
Qui-Gon.
That's why when Vader strikes Obi-Wan down, he became more powerful than we could possibly imagine in Empire Strikes Back and returned to train Luke in the ways of the Force. Vader died in Return of the Jedi, but his ghost haunts his grandson and helps give him the strength to walk down the same dark path Anakin did in the prequels. Reason number 23. At the end of every Star Wars movie, someone's always hanging on for their dear life and need life support because they're about to die. Padme is holding on for dear life, but she doesn't make it. Thankfully, her husband, who was on life support also, survives. Luke is a fighter and survives at the end of Empire Strikes Back, and Finn looks like he's going to pull through too. Sadly, Obi-Wan wasted too much time talking and not enough time dialing 911, and Qui-Gon passes away at the end of episode 1. Reason number 24. All Star Wars movies have a no scene when the character yells no because something dramatic happened. Obi-Wan yells it when his master gets stabbed. Rey yells it when Han gets stabbed. Luke yells it when his biological dad stabs him in the heart and tells him the truth about his parents. No! And Vader yells it when he finds out Padme died. Those are 24 reasons these movies are the same. You agree? Yes, no, maybe so. If not, politely share your thoughts in the comment section below and click the subscribe button for more 24 reason videos.
Best elevator music I've ever heard.